Hello, welcome to Spirit of Innovation, local magazine-style news and information brought to you by nonprofit JDS Creative Academy. I'm Mia Dignan. In today's episode, another gold rush is expected to hit. White gold, that is. We find out how lithium just might be salvation for California's most troubled lake.
In order to run lithium extraction facilities at a commercial level, the companies down there are talking about hundreds of jobs, and these would be STEM jobs.
And this is important for people to realize. We're talking about bringing up an element that will potentially help solve not only our energy crisis, but do it in a clean way and mitigate against CO2.
We shine a spotlight on Cultivating Inclusion and learn how this organization enhances the lives of their special needs participants.
When someone walks through this, they're enchanted. We commune, we talk to each other, we socialize. We harvest all the things that we've been cultivating and nurturing. We take it to a local food bank.
This month, we celebrate the inspiring women of Riverside County and how today they're making history.
To be the first Latina elected in the history of Riverside was huge, not for me, but for our people that we represent, to have the voice, to feel like they're included for once. And that's what's been so great for me to be a part of.
I really enjoyed the challenge, and it did take me a little while before it sunk in that I was the first female winery owner in, I think, Southern California.
We also bring you the Need to Know, Did You Know, and Good to Know community news and information. All this and more in today's episode of Spirit of Innovation. Spring has officially sprung. Flowers are blooming, the days are lasting longer, and it also means tax filing season is here. You may be wondering how the pandemic will affect your return. Today, we'll guide you through what you need to know about COVID credits and your taxes. Here to answer some big questions about tax preparation is SOI correspondent Roman Hill.
Thanks, Mia. Tax season can be overwhelming for a lot of people, but if you are prepared and know important information ahead of time, your tax filing experience doesn't have to be a stressful one. I'm going to answer some of the biggest questions regarding this year's tax return. Question number 1. Do I have to pay taxes on the stimulus money received last year? No, you don't. The stimulus is not considered to be a taxable income, but you do need to report it on your 2021 tax return. You should have received letter 6475 in the mail. Keep it in a safe place. You'll need to report the amount you received, and if you didn't get the right amount, the IRS could owe you more money. Question 2. How will the child tax credit affect my return? If your household received advanced child tax credit payments last year, look out for another letter from the IRS. Letter 6419 has information about the number of advances you received, which you'll need to include on your return. It's important to remember that this was an advance, so you will probably see a lower refund. Question 3. What if I accidentally threw away or lost my IRS letters? Even though the IRS strongly encourages everyone to keep their letters safe, if something happens and they get lost or thrown away, don't panic. All of your information can still be found on the IRS website. Question 4. Will there be delays receiving a refund this year, like there were last year? Unfortunately, because of the staffing shortages and backlogged 2020 returns, there's a good chance there could be delays processing and receiving refunds. To help move things along faster and ensure the quickest return, the IRS recommends filing electronically rather than traditional mail. Question 5. Should I file my own taxes or hire a professional? Well, that depends on your situation. If you're a basic filer with no dependents, investments, or significant assets, and you feel confident that you can do it on your own, go for it. There are plenty of free to low-cost tax softwares to guide you through the process. For a more complex tax situation, definitely consider hiring a professional. It might cost more money, but they will help you to avoid any penalties and ensure everything is done accurately. That's it for today's Need to Know Q&A. I hope you feel better prepared for when you're ready to file your taxes. For answers to some of the tougher tax questions, contact a CPA near you. Back to you, Mia.
Thank you, Roman. That was a lot of great information. Visit our website for a list of more info on tax preparation. Did you know that California is heading into the third consecutive year of drought? Despite the challenges brought on by the dry weather, Riverside County has proven to be proactive in its efforts to conserve water. We spoke to Joe Mawad from EMWD to give us an update on the current drought status and what is in store for their customers.
The entire state is experiencing ongoing droughts due to record-setting dry conditions. January and February were the driest on record. Our customers and overall our entire service area at Eastern, they've been incredibly responsive. I think that, coupled with the investments that EMWD has made over the last many years in recycled water, converting customers from potable water irrigation to recycled water irrigation, removing non-functional turf. We've removed over 10 million square feet of turf. And we've invested in groundwater banking programs that will allow us to mitigate the impacts of drought. Over 80% of our customers stay within their budget. So we would ask for them to keep it up. For those customers who on occasion exceed their water budgets, we have a number of programs that can be of assistance. So we would ask them to reach out to us. We have our Landscapes for Living program. It offers information and tutorials relative to everything from our free weather-based irrigation controllers to drip system upgrades that we offer, as well as funding for turf removal. We recognize there are going to be challenges ahead of us in terms of the ongoing drought. All those things that we've done have allowed us to be positioned to navigate through this drought and, frankly, what will likely be future drought conditions.
If you would like more information on EMWD's programs or updates on water supply, visit our website. From a bustling resort destination to an ecological nightmare, the Salton Sea has long been a problematic body of water. But if you dig deep enough, there just might be the solution to the ever-growing search for clean energy sources. Just over the San Jacinto Mountains in the desert region of California is the Salton Sea, covering a surface area of 325 square miles, making it the largest lake in the entire state.
Our story of the modern Salton Sea begins in 1905, when engineers were building an irrigation canal from the Colorado River to the Imperial Valley. And that was a year of particularly heavy runoff on the Colorado. And it breached the irrigation system. And for about 2 years, the water drained from the Colorado River into the Salton Sea Basin.
During the 50s and 60s, the Salton Sea became a popular tourist spot. But what was considered to be a miracle in the desert quickly turned into an environmental disaster.
But what's happened over time is that this depression that is the Salton Sea Basin, water flows in, but the only way that it can leave is through evaporation. And so the components that have come in from all this agricultural runoff have become more and more concentrated over time. The fish are dying off because of the increasing salinity and the decreasing amounts of oxygen. That's affecting the ability of the birds to feed on them because there are fewer of them. And so other organisms that previously, when the water quality was better, were happy in the Salton Sea are dying off as well. The overall ecology is changing because the chemistry of the water is changing. And over the longer term, one of the biggest risks, of course, is the fact that there will be very large contributions of dust.
The Salton Sea has long been a problem with no definitive solution, but the promise of lithium, a renewable energy source found in the geothermal brines below, ignites hope for the area.
Lithium is the third element on the periodic table, and it's the lightest of all the metals. And we use metals in batteries because their ions can carry and concentrate electrical energy. For things that need to move around, like vehicles and laptops and the smartphone, we use light batteries like lithium-ion batteries. They're really the best solution for mobile devices.
The Salton Sea lies in a unique geological setting that makes it possible for lithium to be present.
The existence of hot geothermal brines beneath the Salton Sea has been known since the 1960s. But back then, the price of lithium was not high. Lithium batteries had not yet been developed. And so there wasn't a lot of impetus to extract lithium out of those brines at that time.
The amount of lithium below the Salton Sea region is so high, government leaders now refer to the area as Lithium Valley.
There's somewhere between 1 and 6 million metric tons of lithium metal in that brine reservoir, and that would make it the largest brine deposit of lithium known in the world. There's certainly enough lithium in that geothermal reservoir to supply probably on the order of at least half a century of lithium production.
Lithium is currently being extracted in other parts of the world from hard rock mines or large evaporation ponds. The geothermal extraction method is seen as having a much smaller environmental footprint.
As that brine comes up, it boils because of the drop in pressure. And they use the steam from that boiling brine to turn the turbines to make electricity. They then re-condense that steam by cooling it and combine it with the spent brine and inject all of that back into the reservoir. To pull the lithium out, you just need to add an extra circuit to the already existing power plant that filters out lithium. But if you look at how we mine lithium in the rest of the world, the geothermal way of extracting lithium is environmentally much more friendly.
It is anticipated these extraction plants will bring in many economic opportunities for the struggling area.
In order to run lithium extraction facilities at a commercial level, the companies down there are talking about hundreds of jobs, and these would be STEM jobs, very well-paid jobs for people down there. And then the other component of the job potential is battery manufacturing. So it probably makes the most sense to start manufacturing batteries where you're producing the lithium.
Batteries are really kind of the currency of the future energy economy, to be honest with you, and lithium is at the heart of that. And this is important for people to realize. We're talking about bringing up an element that will potentially help solve not only our energy crisis, but do it in a clean way and mitigate against CO2 release, which is the biggest problem the world faces right now.
Researchers are still looking for a solution to the issues brought on by the Salton Sea, but are hopeful that this newfound attention to the area will bring some relief.
You can dig into more information about the Salton Sea and the ongoing lithium extraction on our website. Southwest Riverside County is home to several unique programs for those with special needs. Today we spotlight one that encourages their clients to play in the dirt and learn while doing it. SOI team member Brian Wong has more.
Hi, I'm Brian Wong. I went to Murrieta, home to the Cultivating Inclusion Farm, a non-profit where adults with special needs can learn gardening skills.
The farm opened in 2015 after the city of Murrieta agreed to lease the land for just $1 a year. The 3 acres provide plenty of space for the program's hand-on education.
What they learn first is we have to take care of plants in order for them to live. And the first thing we have to do is we have to water the plants. Especially as it's going to get hotter and hotter, we have to make sure they're watered. We amend the soil. They learn about the importance of the soil that the plants live in to grow the best, to become very fruitful. Also, it's a socializing outlet. Because as you can see, we have kids, they do, when we're done working for like a half an hour or so, we usually take a break, we have a snack, we have some water, and we might play bingo, or we're gonna learn about the plants. But the basic thing is we have something for people to do every time they visit.
I like it because I like to watering and to do mulch and we do shoveling to grab some vegetables.
Cultivating Inclusion participants don't just grow vegetables, they also learn how to be charitable.
We harvest all the things that we've been cultivating and nurturing. We take it to a local food bank so that it's not only them on this planet, that they're helping other people. Because sometimes it's all about me, but we got to learn it's also about other people, and I think they get the full circle there.
The program wouldn't exist without their dedicated volunteers.
Volunteers are so important to this program that without them, I couldn't have this program because I cannot be here every single day myself. So volunteers come here and take over and they welcome our clients and students, and they engage them in the activities.
With the help of these volunteers, Marianne has some big plans for the garden's future.
Mostly, my future goals is to beautify the farm and make it a little more organized so that when someone walks through this, they're enchanted. We commune, we talk to each other, we socialize. We want someone to want to come back.
As the participants continue to participate in cultivating inclusion, they'll gain transferable skills, and when they find their own jobs, they will also have learned the legacy of giving back, which they can take along on their next journey.
Thank you, Brian. The people who run Cultivating Inclusion told us that they are always looking for those wonderful volunteers who are so important to the program. Reach out to them if you're interested. Now it's time for our Good to Know, where we talk about community events, heartwarming news, and general good to know topics and information. Here's JDS Creative Academy intern Erin Porras to start us off.
Thanks, Mia. This Saturday, March 26th, join the city of Menifee for a fun multicultural festival at Central Park. This event showcases different cultures, traditional treats, and educational booths and activities for all ages. Are you looking for a new career? Well, good news for Riverside County residents. Caltrans is holding a hiring event on April 7th in Moreno Valley at the city's Business and Employment Center. This presentation will discuss all of the different job opportunities available at Caltrans. They will be helping you get started with the application process. Congratulations, RTA, on your 45 years of service. In celebration of their anniversary, all customers pay just 25 cents to ride RTA buses anywhere they go now through April 30th. Plus, Dowel Ride passengers can ride for just $1 per zone, and youth and students from participating colleges ride free. Want to help give the gift of life? The American Red Cross blood supply is still at historically low levels. Mark your calendar for April 13th to donate blood at the Temecula City Hall Conference Center. You must make an appointment before donating. If you can't make that date, come on down to JDS Studio on May 27th. We are hosting a blood drive with live stream blood bank.
The House of Ukraine Museum is currently accepting donations for the Ukrainian people. Items include clothing and hygiene products and military and medical supplies. Donations can be dropped off at the Murrieta Public Library. If you have a micro business that has been negatively affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, you could be eligible to receive a $2,500 grant. To qualify, you must have fewer than 5 employees and a revenue under $50,000. The evening of Friday, April 15th marks the beginning of the Jewish holiday of Passover. B'nai Hayam Jewish Community Center will be holding their Passover Seder in person on April 16th. Call them at 951-677-7350 if you want to attend. Springtime is here. This means festivals and egg hunts are happening throughout Riverside County. Hop on over to Moreno Valley's Springtastic Festival and Egg Hunt on April 2nd at Sunnymead Park. There will be a youth fun zone, crafts, carnival games, and food vendors.
You can also spring on over to Perris with the family and enjoy a delicious breakfast with the Easter Bunny and hunt for some eggs too. All the fun takes place on Saturday, April 9th at the City Hall. Photos with the Easter Bunny are also available. The fun continues. Kids can hunt for eggs all over. Make sure you check out our website. We will have information for all festive egg hunts happening in Riverside County. Do you love a good barbecue? Well, mark your calendar to attend the Murrieta Fire and Rescue's 75th Annual Firefighters Barbecue, taking place on Saturday, April 23rd at Murrieta's Town Square Park Amphitheater. Exciting news for baseball fans. Baseball season is back this spring. Opening day at Lake Elsinore Storm is April 12th. Be on the lookout for some are awesome JDS participants who will be roaming around the stadium as a part of the production crew.
March is Women's History Month, when we celebrate and encourage the study of women's roles in American history. In Riverside County, numerous women are making history right now as government leaders, activists, scholars, doctors, entrepreneurs, and more. SOI team members Stephanie Garcia and Bella Journey are here to highlight a few of these notable women.
In the business sector between 2007 and 2018, the number of women-owned business in the county grew 58%, breaking barriers along the way.
Attorney and community leader Virginia Blumenthal founded the first women-owned law firm in the city of Riverside.
Terry Delhammer became Temecula's first female winery owner when she purchased Keyways Winery.
I really enjoyed the challenge, and it did take me a little while before it sunk in that I was the first female winery owner in, I think, Southern California, and it was all about me. I mean, I owned the property and I ran the business. Just coincidentally, most of my managers and staff were female, so we were kind of this team of ladies venturing into the wine business. And I found that the winery owners, all males, sometimes couples, were very welcoming. I would suggest to and advise any woman who's interested in opening a business or starting into an industry that's male dominated, just put blinders on and, go do it and not worry about whether somebody is going to think differently of you or treat you differently because you're a female. I think that's really changing today, and hopefully I've made a little bit of difference in that.
Half of Riverside County's 2.47 million residents are females, but women have not always been equally represented in their local governments. In Riverside, there hasn't been a woman on the city council for 6 years. In 2019, that all changed. Voters elected Erin Edwards, the first ever openly LGBTQ woman to serve on the city council.
Voters also chose Gabby Placencia to represent the city's 5th ward. She is now the first ever Latina council member for the city of Riverside.
To be the first Latina elected in the history of Riverside was huge, not for me, but for our people that we represent, to have the voice, to feel like they're included for once. And that's what's been so great for me to be a part of. The first part of my tenure was really focusing on the pandemic and how we can get those resources inclusive of testing and vaccines, and really to the areas that needed it the most. We also, in this short tenure, declared racism a public health crisis, which was huge for me to really start the dialogue about diversity, inclusivity in our policies. And for me, long-term is really looking at housing and bringing good jobs to the community. We have so much work to do. I really care about our future here, and it's important for us to have more women at the table. And so whatever I can do to support those women, I am here.
We didn't have a woman serve as mayor in any Riverside County city until 1963, when Murrieta Parker was elected to Corona's city council, and then later appointed mayor.
Fortunately, we're now seeing many more first as more women fill the mayor role. In 2010, Wildemar Councilor member Bridget Moore was the first woman in the city's history to serve as mayor and was elected a second time in 2016.
In 2020, Eastville City Council member Jocelyn Yao became the youngest woman of color to serve as mayor of any California city.
Many more women are reaching top positions in government services and greatly influencing policy. One of them is Heidi Marshall, Director of Housing, Homelessness Prevention, and Workforce Solutions for Riverside County.
Through a director position, I'm able to impact and set the vision for the organization. I set the tone, drive the values. I have the fortune of working with amazing people who tackle really big problems like ending homelessness, figuring out how to effectuate some change and add affordable housing and tackle things like the income gap that is posing so many different challenges to the growth of our economy here in Riverside County. See a lot of women in government now. I think we've grown in numbers by leaps and bounds. Where I don't see many women is in the housing development field. And I would encourage more women to become involved. I know I've benefited greatly from women who have paved the way and provided a lot of support. And I would get nothing but joy to be able to pay that back to somebody who was interested in getting into government services, and in particular, the housing field.
These are just a few of the notable female influencers in the Riverside County. Of course, there were just thousands of others.
They are all making history, whether they're breaking barriers or following in the footsteps of those who came before them, inspiring future generations to do the same.
Back to you, Mia.
Thank you, Stephanie and Bella. If you want to learn more about the women we mentioned in this segment, go to our website and follow the provided links. The Temecula Valley Chamber of Commerce is proud to announce the 56th Annual Awards Gala. It'll take place Saturday, April 2nd at Pechanga Resort and Casino. Congratulations to my #JDS family for their nomination of JDS Video and Media Productions for Business of the Year and JDS Creative Academy nomination for Nonprofit of the Year. Fingers crossed, we win. DigiFest Temecula 2022 will be here before you know it. The 6th annual 3-day festival, competition, and conference held April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th features an amazing speaker lineup. Here's a look at who's coming to DigiFest 2022.
DigiFest Temecula 2022 festivities kick off Friday evening, April 22nd, with 2 keynote speakers. TV personality Kari Michelson, known for her success portraying Katie Kaniski on Give Me a Break, and casting director, publicity coach Jenny Brown. The evening closes with a smash performance by singer-dancer community activist Torrin Floyd. On Saturday, April 23rd, DigiFest presents a full day of events with a prestigious animation comics panel of experts and 2 notable keynote speakers, multiple Emmy Award-winning director of photography Mario Ortiz and comedian, filmmaker, and actress Renee Pizzotta, who was in the Academy-nominated movie The Ricardos. The day's excitement isn't over yet. Catch the DigiFest submission screening Saturday evening. The 3-day event culminates on Sunday, April 24th with a banquet featuring guest speaker Gina Tuttle, one of America's top voiceover artists, and the voice of the 81st Academy Awards. Then comes a presentation of the Digi Awards. Who will win? Be there to find out. You don't want to miss a minute of DigiFest. Tickets on sale now.
Submissions for the competition close March 25th at midnight. Don't miss your chance to be a 2022 Digi winner. Check this out.
Submissions for DigiFest are now open. Early deadline is January 28th, 2022, and our late deadline is March 25th. Turn in something you created or go out and create something new. Visit www.digifesttemecula.org for more info.
We have top industry judges evaluating DigiFest submissions. They include animators and artists whose work have been seen in Aquaman and Harry Potter films, Emmy-nominated directors and producers, scriptwriters on current network television shows, high-level podcast hosts, artists, film development executives who collaborate with Mel Brooks and Spike Lee. So get those entries in by tomorrow, March 25th, and you just might be a Digi winner. We would like to share the good news and congratulate Scott and Diane Strand, our executive producer and director, on becoming best-selling authors for their new book, Show Business: Breaking into the Industry as an Actor. You can find their book wherever books are sold. There's also a link on our website. Thank you to all of our viewers for joining us. You can find Spirit of Innovation on Rivco TV, local Murrieta and Temecula stations, YouTube, and all social media platforms. Be sure to follow us using the hashtag JDSFamily to keep up with everything that's happening here at the studio and in Riverside County. Don't miss the SOI training crew on radio station 102.5 The Vine, 7 days a week with the JDS Creative Academy Community Spotlight. You can also catch the SOI crew live streaming episodes of the SOI Update and co-hosting our new podcast, SOI Talk, coming out soon. Our next Spirit of Innovation episode drops May 5th. Until then, SOI out.